It's good to have you here again, guys. I started my journey some years ago. Um, I remember as a young boy in the city of Lagos, I heard about Daystar Christian Center, and then that was just shortly after my Bible school. And then I decided to visit the church. I got there, I saw they were running about five services, and I loved what I saw. So I started learning, I started growing. I attended the Daystar Leadership Academy. This was in 2005. And then sometimes in 2006, I attended the advanced leadership class. It was a two class. I mean, there's the basic leadership class, and then we have the advanced leadership course. So the two courses has about 12 to 14 or 15 courses individually. So after I ended the course, I decided to move to a city called Ado Ekiti. Ado Ekiti is in Ekiti State. That's the capital city of Ekiti State. Just to start my journey. It's a long story there above, but I will break it and then I will continue in this series. So I started that journey, got to Ado Ekiti. I didn't know anybody there basically, but then I moved in there, applied for my for a part-time program in University of Ado Ekiti, now Ekiti State University. So that's how I started my journey, and then of course I joined the RCF back there, and then of course at some point I became the vice president of the RCF, and it was at that point that I was already writing my first book before I got to it. In fact, I finished writing it, but I've got no title for the book, even though I've written it. I remember that I met one, I don't want to mention his name now, one of the biggest writers in Lagos at the time. He was writing so many books on relationship, on finance, on business, and it was very popular, small books, and it was selling well at that time. So I met him. He asked me to attend one of his conferences, which I did, and then I later went on to meet him at his office in Lagos and thereabout. He asked me to write about few titles, which I did, and he said, "No, no, no, these titles cannot work for your book." And then he asked me to come again. I mean, at the point I got tired. I got tired of it, and then one day I was in Advocate in my room, and then that's how I just made up my mind to pick a title, and that title was "Secure Your Future." And of course it matches the book I wrote. So I'd written the book chapter to chapter, but I didn't even know the title to give. So I titled this "Secure Your Future," published the book, and that was how the journey began. I started selling the book, and then people began to know me. I remember my first invitation to speak at a church. It was Winners Chapel in Inyekiti. Yeah, I think in Yekiti. And I went there. I was so excited. It was a night vigil. They saw my book, and that was what brought the invitation. That was my first speaking engagement. That was how the journey began. Today I've written a couple of books. I think about 16 or 17 titles today. The journey has been a humbling one. Um, but then it's said that do not despise the days of little beginnings. Don't despise the days of little beginning. The journey is still far. We are still on the journey. I'll see you again next time. Do not despise this level that you are right now, because there is a bigger journey that is coming ahead of you. See you again next time.